everyone. Welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Gold's YouTube channel. I'm Mrs. Gold, and I just would like to say thank you very much for making the live yesterday so exciting. Wow. We had 2,600 people tune in at our highest peak, and that was, for us logging in late. I haven't used StreamYard in over a year, so it took a while for me just to even get back into everything, and my microphone was loud for a good portion. But big up to DL and everybody who came on the live to give me advice, help me, organize the live a little bit better and get rid of the haters. Oh my God, the haters rolled out, but it was fun. There was a lot of new people we met and got to socialize with, and I appreciate you all. Thank you for all the new subscribers that subscribe to the channel. I'm just going to do a golden quickie review on Vybz Kartel's Freedom Street. So this is the first time I'm going to be using StreamYard to do a review, so bear with me on certain things, but I think this is the easiest way to get through this video.
People, I love, but guess what? The government of Jamaica.
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is Nuffy. Nuffy actually dressed better than Vybz Kartel in a lot of people's opinion, including mine. What I wanted to really stress, I'm trying to bring some perspectives that probably people won't talk about the show. Dance hall, especially how yesterday was like an old school dance hall vibe, 90s vibes. Dance hall includes fashion. Probably not now because everybody I buy from Sheen and Ray Tay. But the time when Vybz Kartel and Movado was peaking with Bunty Killer and the Lions crew, those were when people went to a tailor and tailored their outfit. They did custom, and Vybz Kartel should have had a custom outfit that we knew was custom, straight and real. And that's part of dancehall. Dancehall's fashion is very important. I don't know if Vybz Kartel has a stylist or not, but he should have a stylist. So anyhow, that was the first criticism that I found was Vybz Kartel's clothing and their intro.
I cannot be what you want me to be or what he, she, or the old lady wants me to be. I have to be true to myself and just be Vybz Kartel. It's me, a teacher farmer. I did the teacher.
So this whole thing was kind of like a good idea. If you're new, don't know Vybz Kartel, but you followed a friend, it was a good introduction to Vybz Kartel and why he's a quote unquote king of dancehall, right? So I thought it was good, but it was a long thing. And the production was well for how that video was set up. But the delivery when Vybz Kartel came on the stage did not match that production. Criticism I have to give to whoever did the layout. Now, the next criticism, after all that hype and, watching this intro video, the stream went crazy. The live stream that was provided by Downsound was not working. It was freezing up because too many people are watching it. Maybe the Wi-Fi connection at the event. I have no idea. But my whole thing with the whole overall show is I don't know how much test runs were done. We obviously know that when there's live streams, this happens. Even Netflix, as big as they are, have their problems when they do certain live events. But the price that they charged, which was like 40 something US, is not acceptable, for the quality that people received. Even if they had a little section with some tips, like pause your video, let it wait for a while, and then go back and watch. That's what a lot of people were doing yesterday. So just to get like Vybz Kartel's intro right and see it, a lot of people didn't see it because everybody was freezing up. So when Vybz Kartel finally comes out, he comes out in this suit. Let me play a little bit of the video.
Look, When you are out for me, just start up. As you come, so you just want God. Cocky stiff and don't start forcing.
Right? So the feedback in the comments coming from not only our live, but from other people who I listened to afterwards on TikTok programs, they were saying that Vybz Kartel came in a funeral suit. So I'm sure the suit's expensive and it could be custom, but people said he looked like he was going to a funeral. That is horrible, especially a way to end a year and start a new year. So my criticism is, I'll say the good first, so I can let people know that we have good intentions here. No matter how we do the Gaza vendetta thing, I won't hate. Oh shit. I won't hate. Sorry, guys. I won't hate on how he, could have did. Anyways, let me just, because I'm going to end up hating. So, anyways, the suit sits on his body well. So, because it's custom, it's tailored. This fits his body. However, the style is the issue. He needs a stylist. If he has a stylist, he needs to fire that stylist. He should have came out looking like a king. So people were saying that his fiance Saddam should have came out with him, and they should have did a queen and king entrance, and you'll see why we say that. And then he should have made her sit on the stage on a throne, even to the side or in the crowd. But she should have not been standing. She should have been like sitting in a beautiful chair. He should have had a throne on stage, right? Because he's a quote unquote king of dancehall. He should have somewhere where he could have rest and relax his body and take breaks in between the segments. And even if he's not feeling well, right? Let me tell you something. You see that white smoke right here? This big chunk of fog? This right here is harmful for people who are asthmatic and have breathing problems. As a performer doing dancing backup for artists, this thing almost killed me many occasions because it gets in your lungs. I think that's why at some point of the program, Kartel asked for a sweetie from Saddam, because if you have a Halls, it clears up really quick without you using your pump, your asthma pump, right? So anyhow, the introduction, he could have sat down on his chair and do some of his rhymes, but people were expecting a lot. We've seen an Alkaline's concert. Big up Alkaline, happy belated birthday and all. I'll try to do some reviews if I can for end of year. But Alkaline has done fireworks, has done explosions and stuff when we came out. And he's not the only artist. We've seen Beanie and other people perform that way. And that's what people would expect when Vybz Kartel comes out. Another criticism is that people seen him so much that when he even came out, the crowd wasn't even excited. It's like, I see you every day. Like, okay. And a lot of people weren't that excited as they should have been. First, we thought it was just because the volume and the audio was poor that we weren't hearing the crowd. But when you get to certain parts of the live, like when Spice was dancing with him, when Bunty Killer did Mavado's part, because he DJs Mavado's part, you heard the crowd get the loudest ever. When Popcorn came out, they got loud. So, and you're hearing them say back the lyrics. So the audio was good. It just ended up being that people were not feeling the vibes for Vybz Kartel. So as you can see, the live was giving a lot of problems.
You want it for? The virgin, tell me. So you want it for?
Big up Latoya and the crew.
You want it for?
Latoya's
I don't see about that.
A dancehall choreographer, dancehall instructor. Her and her backup singers, see, the live is giving problems again. Her and her backup dancers were doing a great job of, trying to keep people entertained. However, the stage was very, very big, right? And because the stage was big, It's what we call as entertainers a T-shaped stage. This is how much problems the live was getting that, we had these errors. It's called a T stage, right? So what should have happened is some of the dancers, and I blame it on probably they never had an opportunity to rehearse a day before at least on the stage. The dancers should have split up where one group is on one side of the T and the other group is on the other side of the T. And then, they can make some of them go in the middle, but make use of the stage. At one point, it was like everybody was on the end of the T because everyone was following Vybz Kartel. And that just makes the other side of the crowd bored. There's nothing happening. When you see Alkaline perform, he uses all the stage, tries to go in the stage. Even Ding Dong, who's a good performer, and Beanie Man as well. They use the whole stage. They get interactive. We obviously know Vybz Kartel 6, so this is why we need to use dancers to fill in these gaps. Another criticism was that the rhythm was louder than Vybz Kartel. That's what we thought. But then when you hear Russian come out, right? When Russian comes out, you'll hear that Russian is actually louder than Vybz Kartel. So then we realize it's like an energy thing. So to me, it's like Vybz Kartel should have had his own microphone that was like more louder than everybody else's because he doesn't have the breathing capacity. If he was exercising frequently, like we don't know what the man does, obviously, but I think he should have stayed in St. Vincent for a couple months and exercise, get fit, and then his lungs would have been better for this event. But however, the assumption that the internet made was that he wasn't working out, so he wasn't working out, he wasn't practicing, so he wasn't able to control his breath and how he spoke. But when Russian came, it's like, why is Russian sounding better than Vybz Kartel? It was absolutely insane. Another thing is, we're saying that's in life giving trouble again. We're saying that even Russian dressed better than Vybz Kartel, right? Like, it's crazy. It was really, really crazy. A lot of criticism on how Vybz Kartel looked. Then the next issue was, wait, why is there no band? Some people said the rumor was that there was going to be. Enough people said there was going to be a band for part of the concert, and like the second half of the concert, and that didn't happen, so they were disappointed about that. Why it was important that he had a band, and someone also said he didn't have to perform the whole 3 hours. 1 hour with a live band would have been good enough for Kartel. You could have even broke up the hour into 3 segments. And if Vybz Kartel had that live band, they would have given him more vibes as an entertainer, the crowd more vibes. And then when he forgot lyrics, which he did in certain segments, he could have been able to get like the backup vocals from the backup singers of the band to fill in. When Buju Banton used to do hardcore dancehall, Buju had backup singers and good dancers as well. Those are very important. Spice. Now when Spice came out, even though she's wearing her Crips and Blood outfit, she still again looked better than Vybz Kartel. This is how people were saying Sidem should have looked, like a queen. But this is like a Sheen queen or Tumu queen.
Yes, look like those minutes.
Fine, hold on. You have a remix to do. You have time to do it before midnight.
Yes, do it.
Find the comic ready.
Them and their rhythm.
You have a remix to do.
Remix it.
Yeah, look. Fresh out of prison and I make more money than no artists when they are roadblock, girl.
Now this was the highlight of the show. Listen to this.
And a midnight, yes. This time we have a remix to do. Look, Martin, fresh out of prison and I make more money than no artists where they are road. Or if you compare alkaline, him and the student put the word fast.
You heard it, right? Alkaline. This is minutes before the end of 2024. And she thought it was necessary to call Alkaline's name. Crazy. Just to show you how Alkaline is important and on top of people's minds. You wish. So that was a joke. Like, to think that before the whole new year that you brought Alkaline's name, but then again, we have to say thank you, Spice, for advertising for Vendetta and advertising our artist Alkaline for the end of the year because he's just on top of your mind. Alkaline makes a lot of money. He makes millions. And what's good about Alkaline, he's independent as well. And his shows are very successful. The rumor is there's probably 12,000 free tickets that were given away for this event, and it was rumored to be a charity event. Alkaline never had to give no 12,000 tickets for people to come to his show, no matter which part it was in any part of this world. There's a show he has coming up in London is already 70% sold. So what, and that's in April. Guys, make sure you guys check it out. The advertisement is on our channel. But anyway, I thought it was hilarious still that she brought Alkaline's name up. And again, it was good promotion. There's a portion where she ended up asking Vybz Kartel about Saddam. And then she's acting like she's showing, the wifey respect. But a lot of people had issues with how she was winding up with Kartel.
In spirit and in truth.
Happy New Year to them. It's a pleasure to meet you. All right. Pretty. Big up yourself. Nicholas the backstage as well. Yeah, that's the thing.
What you want to see them or watch you? She loves don't back for you.
Yeah, people thought this was so disrespectful to his wife. It's one thing to dance with him a little bit, but they were like going on and on. People thought it was disrespectful to them. Vybz Kartel, they could play around, but it's just too much. Look at her face. Watch this part.
See them stop praying. Hold on now. See them, watch this. Kiss me, baby.
Rude. Oh, Ta'ada. Okay, so another part that cannot be ignored is when Sean Storm came out, okay? When Sean Storm come out, it was funny as hell.
Work hard for each other every day and night. I'm busy doing folly in at your eyesight. To help those who help themselves, they run my life. Just in case I didn't know.
Look at his hair. It looked like he was wearing a wig. People are like, whose granny is this?
Oh, you mean?
We work hard for each other every day and night. Busy doing folly in at your eyesight. Freedom Street.
There was something off about his hair. It looked like he was wearing a wig. It was like lift up. And everybody was like, why is Sean Storm looking like a granny? So this was another criticism. You have these men who've been in jail for so long. His outfit was a little bit better than Vybz Kartel, but again, no stylist. How come the stylist never put some different colors with this instead of the way the white was laid out? and silver. And then on top of that, was he wearing a wig? That's why he needed a headband. It was really, really weird because, yeah, it was like wig fest. Almost every artist that came up had some extensions, had a skin came with a wig, and all of them kept on hugging Vybz Kartel and calling him daddy. So people were saying it was a hug fest, wig fest. It was just crazy. It was a hot mess. Let's just say that. Another thing that annoyed people was the fact that Mad Puss was just on stage, like doing nothing, like a bodyguard. Like it was weird. It was just weird. Like he was in the way. People are like, why is he on the stage? Yeah, it was just very awkward, very weird to have him just sitting there on the stage. It was just unorganized from the start. So that's one thing that people seem right there. So that's one thing that people were noticing. Like, why is everything looking like a hot mess? Right? It was obvious at that point that there was no rehearsals that were done. So the Cartel and the Spice segment took a lot of time. Time was another thing that was an issue. If the show was supposed to start, the doors were supposed to open at 4. They said Vybz Kartel was supposed to go on the stage by 10. He didn't go on the stage till almost 11 o'clock. So, but what they should have done is made the young artists, because there's a lot of people who, what's his name? Janelle, you guys can tell me, because I don't listen to anyone really other than a couple. But he did really well. If he was on earlier, that would have been a great feature from him. So if the show started at 9 o'clock, it would have ended at a decent time, because it was supposed to be over by 1:30. But then people were complaining, saying them not used to no Kingston, especially dance that ends so early. So some people were mad at what didn't end on time, and some people were mad that it didn't go longer. Because when everybody really started building up her vibes was near the end of the show. When the end of the show came, that's when the vibes started coming out. So I don't want to make this long, and it's already getting to be a long video, but I just have to talk about at least this and a few other things. So Vybz Kartel, when he came out this outfit, I get the concept. You want to bring us back to the 90s. Great idea. However, you should have wore a t-shirt at least with this look, because it showed us how his body was shaped, and he did not look good. When he was here and he was dancing and he was trying to move, a lot of people were saying it looks like my 80-year-old grandfather trying to be young. See, because you can see his hunchback and everything too, right? People kept saying he's fat or whatever. Fat. That's not friggin' old. Old is like 80 nowadays. Like, we're living longer as human beings. There's a lot of fit old people, right? You see a lot of famous people that are old that look good. But when people saw the MAGA arms, and his body type, that really scared a lot of people. They're like, he's not well. Who is this? Those are some of the comments that we're seeing. So if he did wear a t-shirt, that would be okay. But really and truly in dancehall, we would go to parties. If you're a birthday girl, or you're a hot gal, or you're the feature of a dance, and someone invites you as a special guest, you know how much times we change? We change at least 3 times, right? You're supposed to, like, that's why Spice kept changing and taking off her clothes. You're supposed to change frequently as a featured person, as a star, right? This lady called in from England on a TikTok, and she said, Vybz Kartel did not look like a star. We waited all these years to see a star. There should have been anticipation for him coming out. And it really disappointed a lot of people, right? It was not good. It definitely was not good. There's some good points throughout the show. You have to give some artists some this Shelly Belly, big up yourself, some points for doing their stuff. But Popcorn being outside for 3 hours and Chronic Law, that's whack still. No matter how mina like them, that they shouldn't have been treated that way.
Don't freely. Remember when me walk and them seen me? Sorry, say three-wheel bike. Them off the see greatness, dog. We no fear this. Hey, love for you, man. Rascal, more with him round there.
And then, of course, Popcorn done cuss out Scatter and everybody and their mama. But at the same time, one thing I can say, and you guys know how I feel about Popcorn. What I can say is when Popcorn and Chronic Law performed, it just reminded us too why Poppy is a better artist than Cartel as far as being an entertainer, right? So he sounded way better.
Yeah, I know the name of trap. All our respect, Cartel, but a blank in I bomb buckler place right now. Sure, and me say Thomas State look for greatness. She not safety, no she give me. Let me ask with them lady and whip on the brain and slays me. Like change up with my mafia can't waste it. To be proud of the children. Pop it up here and no nothing.
And then look at him, look how he's dancing. People thought he was looking weird. Even Chronic Law had better clothes. Popcorn. People liked Popcorn's hair. I didn't, but. Listen to the crowd. You see, when we heard the crowd repeat after Popcorn, that's when we knew that there was no problem with the audio. We're like, what? The audio good? Yo, the audio's good all this time. We did not know the audio was good all this time. So that meant that all this time, the crowd was not singing to Vybz Kartel songs. This is what shocked us, and it looked bad. It was a bad look. It was a really bad look. Seeing Kartel in between these guys who looked better than him in clothes, and I'm saying Chronic Law looked better than him. Like, think about what me I say. It wasn't a good look.
He is the father. Dancehall parent.
Member.
Listen me. And I don't want you to feel like you are taking nobody's throne. You built your home.
Yes.
Independently. The hungry man, Ronya, whenever signed to an international label and sell gold and silver for me no prison. A king has risen.
Okay, so it was good that Bunty Killer gave him his homage. But what was people noticing too was like how Vybz Kartel looked beside Bunty Killer. And Bunty Killer sometimes dresses whack, but Bunty Killer again had the diamonds and the studs look that made him look like he was better than this so-called king him a big up. That looked weird, yo. And Bunty Killer, first they said at the beginning of the show, Bunty Killer wasn't going to perform. And then later on, he ended up coming on stage, threw everybody off. And, boy, that's when the show actually probably really picked up, when Bunty actually came and Popcorn.
Give me again. Look into my eyes. Tell me what to say. Can you feel my pain? Am I not anything? You must have another way. It's a really nice. The only friend I know. In the friend I have. What's the killer give me the originality? What's my shot of respect and difficulty? This is a good opinion.
You see how the crowd start move up and get little energetic? Listen to the crowd. You're barely hearing any horns before that. Now listen to this. You hear how the crowd are sing? You hear how the crowd sing for Mavado's song? And Mavado was in there. Yo, people at that point, people were like, Mavado should have been there. I'm glad he wasn't there. But people were like, yo. So this means all throughout the 3 hours of the show that already went by, the crowd could have been singing Vybz Kartel songs. So, and that's when we realized nothing was wrong with our audio. The crowd was bored. Some people said blame the crowd for being dead, whatever, no vibes, but the crowd was bored. Another thing you'll notice in that crowd that at the beginning of the show there was barely any like cell phone lights throughout. Like people were not recording, were not interested, and even though it was dark, you could see a lot of spotty spots in the stand showing that it wasn't full. But people said they'd never seen something like that. They're used to like, yo, whenever there's a show, you're seeing all these lights. Big up to Harry Toddler, he did good. People liked this segment when a lot of the artists came up. But what happened is there's a part where Vybz Kartel forgot the lyrics. And Popcorn had to save him. And he admitted he forgot the lyrics. And that was bad. Some people were saying, well, it's been 13 years, so he's not going to remember his lyrics. Guy, he should have at least rehearsed. If he was rehearsing these past 4 to 5 months for the show, he would not forget his lyrics. But because nothing was rehearsed, nothing was planned properly, he did not look good. There's even a part when a rhythm was playing and Vybz Kartel even had to say, I'll watch I flop me. Because it wasn't organized, it wasn't planned. You hear me? Yeah. Hear this. It did not look good. At this point, the police that's the police in the background was trying to get him to stop.
See one of the next big brother, yeah. We did not tell you who. Just stand them at that. Here you go. Na. Hello, you sir. Nice this party. Oh, man, don't dress like that. We don't want no.
Harry Toddler did good. He deserves his props. He even dressed better too. Look at that. You see like how he's a big guy, but he's wearing the jacket? This is what we're talking about. Like if Vybz Kartel even had a jacket or something, it would have made his body shape look better. His stylist needs to get fired. So I want to wrap up this video. But I just want to say that, you know, when Tommy Lee came on, Tommy Lee did his thing. You know, for the little time that he had. But again, Tommy Lee was also wearing extensions. So his hair is extra long.
We're gonna find something. Gaza man crazy. No, we're inside. Everybody's supposed to be linked up here and the link for the chain. Yeah.
You see how the crowd had jump? You weren't seeing that throughout the early part of the performance of the show. So what vexed everybody is like, what the hell? Like, really? The people can move? People can jump? They're not as dead as we thought? So it's all about the vibes from Vybz Kartel. The live bands would have gave him the energy he needed. If he was able to sit down in the chair, he would have been okay. At some one point, I saw him like leaning up on the stage because his man tired. It was too much on his body. But, you know, overall, he did his thing. He got through the show, which was something that a lot of people didn't think he would be able to do. But I don't like how he used like a Badman tune for his last song. I didn't think that was good. It's the beginning of a new year. He should have left with one of his motivationals or positive song to end. But again, because I think of poor planning, him just do a song, you know? And I didn't like that part as well. People were really disappointed. Some people paid allegedly $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 for their thing, and they're vexed. They did not get that money. And I think that's where it comes down to. Obviously, the free ticket people, them happy. So the free ticket people, them good. The people who got to watch for free, good. But the people who spent 10 grand, even if them a money person and took their private jet come, a lot of them is disappointed. A lot of people also said they were mad that the rumors were circulating about Nicki Minaj. They thought that was wrong because some people didn't want to really go, but then they went because of that. Some people didn't like the Drake rumors because they were saying that, Joe kept on hinting that someone from Canada would come on the stage, but it never happened. So a lot of people felt robbed, betrayed, lied to. Think about how you would feel that if you took your little money as a poor person to buy your tickets and then so many tickets were given away. I've never seen that in the history of dancehall where so much tickets were given away. It was crazy. Usually you go to a dance and some girls might wind up for little 2 tickets to go somewhere, or throughout the 5 months they could have spread out some of the tickets them so it don't look bad. But people were getting envelopes with hundreds of tickets to give away. That was pathetic. Anyway, overall, I think people should look at this. See, you can see the spotty spots in the stadium and that camera view there. Overall, I think the way that people should look at this, it was just a New Year's party. Call it a New Year's party. People are saying it'd be better if he kept it on his birthday, just for traffic wise, crowd wise, because when people had to go home, it was a hot mess. It wasn't organized in that way and planned properly in that way, even like the exit plan. But look at the spotty spots in the crowd. If they just call this a New Year's party and that's it. Because it was just like a dance. But the thing is, even when the DJs were playing, big up the DJ that played Alkaline. That was wicked. That was nice. And people don't shouldn't complain because Vybz Kartel plays at Alkaline shows. Anyways, the DJs were not even able to get vibes out of the people them because the people them did tired. Some of them was there from 4:00 p.m. They weren't trying to dance at 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock. The DJs should have been hyping up the crowds from earlier the right way too, right? The featured DJs should have been out because some of them didn't even get to play because they were in the middle of the whole show. So, at least he was able to get the show to go about 2:30. That's it for me. I didn't want this video to be that long, but it was a 4-hour. No, how long was it? Yeah, 4.5 hour event covered. So, there's a lot of things I wanted to share with you guys instead of making multiple videos about it. So thank you again for those that joined us on our live. There is a link you guys can look for in the comments below so that you can check out that video. It is an unlisted video. All right. Or it might not be in the comments below because we know we got the haters. So let's have some fun and try to find a link. Try to find a link. Those who are regular on our channel would know where to find the link. And if you follow us on social media, you'll get the link as well.